Hey guys, it's Chris, Ironhead Garage. What's going on? So, got the old 55 in the shop. Got her over here with my buddy Jay. Thank you, Jay, if you're watching. But, she's pretty cool. It's going to be a great project to work on. It's fun. I love this old truck, man. This truck has just got the killer look. I love that front end. I've been working on this bumper. Got a bunch of SOS pads I've been working on. Thank you, Glenn. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, got a bunch of that nasty looking rust off. So that was a good start. It's still flaky, but nah. I don't even think they're doing chrome anymore. They say it's toxic for the environment, so us hot rodders can't have nothing chromed anymore. What's up with that? But yeah, I did find these marker lights. There's one company that makes a bunch of aftermarket stuff, and I think they're like 13 bucks or something. But look at that tire. Man, she's about ready to blow. I was putting air in it just to air it up to when we drug it around front, and I was keeping my face away from that, make sure it didn't blow up. Those tires on it, they were actually almost brand new, but it sat for 15 years, and they just got dry rotted. Must have sat out in the sun. But she was leaking a little bit of gas, I noticed, and it was stinky gas down below when we trailered it home. Someone pulled this gas tank out, and I got the front seat out already, right there. But pretty good bracketry and stuff the guy built, whoever built this old truck. So I got a couple bolts left on that passenger seat, and then unhook these wires. I got the line off the bottom of the tank, so we'll take that tank out. It kind of stinks like old gas. And there was a locking gas cap on here. This is off of my 50 Chevy, but I think a little bit of water was getting in there because it was kind of watery gas mixed that was running. But man, she's a good old truck. I'm just digging this old truck. Even with the broken glass, she still rolls up and down. I noticed the gasket is pretty shot. So I'm going to get another gasket and get this windshield out and put a new gasket in it. The emblems, it's got some old patina on it, but not bad. I haven't even cleaned it up with the Scotch-Brite pad or the steel wool yet. Probably use the steel wool. This window's busted here, but it's still in there. It's actually, seems pretty strong, but we'll get some glass for it, and I gotta get some mirrors for it. I'm not sure what kind of mirrors. I've seen ones that come out here that are pretty cool. But the underneath of this truck, man, I can't believe how rust free it is. It's pretty crazy. Here's that rust spot on the door. It's got a little hole right here, and somewhere under here, it's got another little rust hole. I'll have to show you guys. Well, there's a couple bolts left there. Oh, and I noticed this. You can see in the light there, there's a bulge right here, about as big as my hand, about a ½ inch inside the cab, and the rest of it across there is all flat. I think they ran over a chunk of wood or something on the highway, got thrown up and hit that right there, or maybe they blew a front tire one time and the cap came up and hit that firewall. Must have made a hell of a bang. Probably scared the shit out of them. But I'm gonna give it a 2x4, 2x6, and then smack it with a sledgehammer, my 5-pound sledgehammer. That should flatten her back out. So get that seat out and take that gas tank out. Oh, it's got the old stock straight axle in it. You can see underneath there, but original, and it's a drop, it must be about 5-inch drop axle. The old original 55 half-ton truck would have been 6 lug, and this is 5 lug. So I'm not sure if that axle's been changed or they just changed the hubs and the brake drums. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Figure out what kind of brakes are going to go on the front of this. When I jacked it up, I shook the wheels and the kingpin seemed to be all good. It steers. The steering box is nice and tight. So I think I got a pretty good deal on this old truck. It's got that old Chevy rear end. I haven't ran the numbers on it yet, but it's got a fill spout on the back of the pumpkin. You can see it under there or not. And then it's got a drain hole right on the bottom. And I believe 55 and 56 never had a drain hole on the bottom. 57 came out with a drain hole and a fill hole. So I believe it's probably 57. It's not a posi. I spun both wheels. And I got rid of that posi that came out of my 55 Chevy that I got from a guy, Dan, if you're watching. Yeah, I got rid of it. Guy came by and picked it up, and he gave me this for it. A rebuilt Super T10 transmission. Look at that wide ratio. So he bought it for his Camaro back in the day, and well, not too far back in the day, but about 5 years or so, and then sold the Camaro 2 weeks later. So he just put this rebuilt Super T10 up on the shelf. Never even had fluid in it, so that's a killer deal for me. It's got a steel mid plate in it. Tail shaft's all nice. It's got new gaskets, new hardware. So it's a killer. It's going in the 55, and it's a wide ratio transmission. So that'll work killer for the 55 one day. But I'll have to get a clutch, new pressure plate, and new yoke. And I think I'll have to have my driveline shortened a 1/2 inch, because that transmission there is 22.5 and the Saginaw's 22 inches from the bell housing mount to the end of the tail shaft. So my driveline, I only have like a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch from bottoming out. But that's a future project. So we're going to work on this old GMC for a little while. Try to get this old girl going before winter time. I got them badass wheels you guys seen for it. I gotta get some lug nuts and all that goodies and get them on here. We'll see, maybe in time. I'll have to notch that frame. Put airbags on this thing would be killer. That would be my dream truck. Put this thing right on the ground, so the bottom of the rockers, when you go to the show, just let the air out, just set it right on the ground. That would be killer. But I believe I'd have to change that front axle and put a Camaro front clip on it, and then put airbags with front clip with A-arms, put airbags on it. But we'll see how it goes in time. I'm not sure if they make drop spindles for this axle, for that kind of straight axle. Been looking, I haven't seen anything, but we'll keep looking, see what we can find. Maybe I'll build my own drop spindles, take some and cut them, drop them myself. They used to build those double ball joints for the old gassers for the 55 and weld them up nice and solid. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a cool old truck. Another fun project, keep you busy in the shop. That's what it's all about, having fun. If you enjoy it, that's all that really matters. Alright, well, I'm going to get that other seat out of here. Get this nasty old stinky tank out of there. See what she looks like inside. Alright, enough rambling. I'll be back. Well guys, it's the next day. Last night I got the tank out. But check this out, I came over here this morning. And last night sometime, that tire went kablooey. blew out. Blew rubber all the way back there. Blew some out of the front. Yeah, I knew it was sketchy. It was falling apart. I should have let the air out of it. Lucky I wasn't over here or underneath the truck when it blew out. But she's toast. Lucky I got them 20-inch wheels for it. But I got the gas tank out. The inside didn't look too bad. And I looked at the bottom of it. Look at that. Somebody had drilled a hole in it to drain it instead of pulling the tank out. The tank's in nice shape. It's not rusted at all. But they had drilled a hole in it, which is too bad. They must have did it right through that hole there. The plug was gone out of it and they drilled up from the bottom. But once in a while, you need to take your tank out of your truck. Look at all that stuff in there. All that is from that old gas leaking when I towed it. And the reason why, got little rust holes right there. There was an old rag stuffed down in that cab corner that was just about disintegrated and a bunch of debris. And the same over there on that side. So if you keep them clean, they won't rust out. And if this truck had been kept clean, it probably wouldn't be rusty right there because that's the only spot. So that's one deal to remember. Keep them cab corners vacuumed out and keep them clean. Well, I did find a piece that I believe is the hood mechanism latch part. Was down in that corner, jammed down in there. And some more junk. But, yep, keep them cleaned out and they won't rust. So that tank there, they're like $300 for a new tank. I think I'm just going to weld that hole up. It's a nice clean weld. Maybe we'll have the kid come over with his cigarette lighter and see if she bangs off first. No, I'm just joking. I'll probably rinse it out with a bunch of water. It hasn't had new gas in it for over 15 years or so probably. And it smells like old gas, but I think I'll wash it out 5 or 10 times. Let her drain and then fill it up with gas. Or not gas, that'll blow up. Fill it up with water. And then weld that hole up. I'll grind it first. Put a nice big thick bead on there. Then it should be good to go. I won't have to buy another tank. There's the spout. I don't think it's the original tank that's in there. I think it came out of a Chevy or something maybe. They plugged off the vent. And I'll get a new piece of hose here. Clean this guy out. I'm going to order a new rubber here probably. Sending unit. Not sure if it works. I probably should put a new sending unit too, but I believe the buy a gas cap that'll vent. And that'll let that gas vent out of there. Well guys, guess I'm going to wash that tank out. You guys don't want to see me vacuum all this up. There's lots of videos. Guys cleaning their garages, vacuuming their car. Who wants to watch that? Not me. But anyway, glad I wasn't around when that tire blew. Too bad I didn't even hear it last night, but nope, never heard a thing. So, I'm going to clean that tank out, clean that cab out, and go on to something else. Alright guys, I appreciate y'all watching, following along. Take care. We'll see you next time. Y'all stick these drags going.